was a walk-off interview last year where you said kind of just wait and see if this group gets a training camp together.
Yeah.
And since you've worked out with several of your teammates this summer, I just wonder what you kind of meant by that at the time and how you feel like that will adjust now that it's started, in addition to the additional talent that you guys brought in.
I mean, we saw it right away. The group was kind of clicking. As soon as we got on the floor together, we had that chemistry that usually takes a training camp or some months to kind of put together. So for us to get it going right away, I felt that. I felt that that's what we needed and that's what we were missing. So to get that opportunity now this year, obviously, the sky's the limit.
D'Angelo, welcome back. What did you make of the offseason acquisitions, and what's it been like in the gym here over the last week, and as you guys have all really gathered?
I think it was big time. Shout out Rob. He put a nice group together that I think can easily flow together on and off the court. I think that's kind of what it's about, continuing to have that chemistry and continuity off the floor to allow that flow to happen on the floor. So for us to have that group, some familiar faces, I think it's a big deal.
D'Angelo, you're one of those familiar faces who did return. Just what went into your decision as a free agent to come back to the Lakers?
I mean, just the opportunity, you know. We didn't finish the way we wanted to, so to get the opportunity to come back and start where we left off is always a privilege and something that I'm appreciative of. And then just being somewhere where you want it. I mean, they made an effort to come and let me know how they felt about me and made me feel wanted, and it made it easier for me to come back as well.
D'Lo, Rob talked about your off-season regimen and your training and how impressed they've been with just your body and everything. What can you say about what you did this summer and just kind of the shape you're in entering the season?
Just the work. I mean, every summer you go into the summer with a plan. It's something you want to kind of attack. Every summer for me, it's always about my body, you know, trying to attack that form for myself and being the best physical shape that I can be in going into training camp or whatnot. It started for me earlier this summer. You know, I had limited my travel. I had a son, so I was at home a lot. So I got to incorporate a working regimen sooner rather than later in the summer for me. So I think it was a success. Looking forward to this one for sure.
D'Angelo, based on your season with LeBron and AD, what did you learn about last season playing with those guys, how that can help you this season?
Like I said, the more games we got under our belt, the more we were kind of figuring it out. You know, we had a group last year that it could have been anybody's year. I mean, anybody's night. You know, we were a super deep team. And for this year, I think it's the same way. Got a lot of guys that are more than capable of taking the game over, adding that energy, whatever it takes to impact winning for our group. Got a lot of guys that are more than capable of doing that. You asked about AD. I mean, he's a beast, you know. Playing against him, you kind of feel that. But when you're on the same team and you see him dominate players day in and day out, through the ups, through the downs, whatever's being said about him, you out there playing against him, you definitely rather have him with you on your team. So to be a part of it last year and see those guys kind of elevate their play and rise their level of competitiveness throughout the season, it was fun to see and to be a part of.
Hey, D'Angelo, right here.
Hey.
Darvin Ham, at his presser the other day, came out basically unprompted and named you the team's starting point guard. What does it mean to get that vote of confidence?
Man, I appreciate all of that, honestly. Any words of encouragement from your head coach is always appreciated as a player. To have that trust in me is obviously something, too, that I see. Just appreciative, you know. Don't want to let him down, I guess.
Hey, D'Lo, in the back over here. What was your interaction with your teammates? You know, the guys you made bonds with in that short amount of time last year. How did you continue that connective tissue in the offseason, and how do you think that will benefit this group come the start of this year?
I think just being a selfless guy. You know, I think a lot of guys put that past the initial encounters with your teammates. I try to do that right away. Let guys know that I'm all about what you need from me. Obviously, I'm going to try to provide my own individual aspects to the game and approach. but knowing that guys can lean on me for whatever you need to be, relevant in the game, having the ball in my hands a little bit, I feel like I have a sense of who needs what and what's missing elsewhere, and just being able to attack that throughout the season. But that starts with the relationship that you develop with your guys off the floor. So I try to do a good job of being that guy for everybody on the team, not just a lot of the guys that are playing. And with this time being here now, going into the season, it allows you to develop those relationships. And if it's Austin Reeves' golf and what he has going on off the floor, it's genuinely there, and you develop that trust now. So.
D'Lo, just being drafted to this team and then coming back full circle, having a child, all of these things that you kind of, grow up as a man in this league, what has been like the biggest learning lessons that you've kind of gleaned from this experience and coming back?
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
I'm sorry, what have been the biggest learning lessons that you've gleaned coming back around this time, and what are you hoping to just, set forth in terms of just a tone from the beginning of the season?
To clarify, you're saying as a younger player to now, yes. Right? Obviously, the experience is huge. Being a guy that came into the league at 18 to this organization at that, you don't really know what you're preparing for. So to get that out of my system and leave, branch off, come back, I kind of have an idea on what I'm preparing for. I think simple as that is it allows me to have some experience going into the situation. But as far as myself, I always try to focus on myself, my approach, my mentality, my what I'm going to do, my work habits, and then I try to give that to y'all on display whenever I can. But it's all about what can I do to help, not really what my opponent's going to do or what an organization is going to do with me or whatever that may be. So just being prepared for what I'm being kind of thrown into.
D'Angelo over here. During your exit interview, you mentioned knowing really who you are as a player and also who you're not, and some of the things that you may never become as a player. With that in mind, in the offseason, do you spend more time trying to accentuate your strengths and just being better at them, or do you think about those areas of weakness and trying to shore them up?
Yeah, a lot of things that I hear is defensive abilities. I'm not the fastest, so I don't know how much faster I'm going to get. So accepting what I can do, and that's bring my mind to the defensive side of things, and that's being in the right place a lot of the times. That's communicating a lot of the times, bringing different elements that's probably I'm not going to provide the fastest, the speed to the game. That's not what I do. So just finding ways that I can do what I already do kind of good and just kind of be great at it. And what I need to work on, obviously look in the mirror and know those things. And just try to be in the best position is where it's not hurting the team or things like that. So,
hi, D'Angelo over here. Hi, you kind of waived your implied no trade clause in your contract for this season. Can you just talk about what went into that decision? I think caught some people by surprise.
That was a new rule. That was a new something new that was implemented into the contracts. I think it worked out for both parties. Obviously, letting a player have that kind of allows you to control your own destiny going into the summer or whatnot, right? So being able to do that, I think that was a big part of my decision. I'm here for 2 years. This is my second year coming back, right, after my first year. And to be back is something hard to accept, too, because you never know who wants to be here, what's next. So to be able to control my own destiny no matter what's going on, I think that as a player, that's something that you want. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.